Hey guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel and thanks so much for tuning into what is going to be basically a video about how I make videos, or a piece of it anyway. Basically what my filming setup is like when I have this white background or the black backgrounds or really any of the backgrounds you've seen for the past like 8 months-ish here on the channel. It is all in one room, so this is going to take you behind the scenes to look at all of those kinds of spaces if you're just curious. I hope it satisfies your curiosity, but if you're also a content creator, whether it's beauty or otherwise, wanted to give you some ideas for backgrounds, lighting techniques, and just generally the equipment that I use, which while I might not go through every single piece of it, if you have any questions, I will link everything down in the description bar below. I also want to say that if you are a content creator, again, beauty or otherwise, you do not have to have this setup or anything near it to make good videos. All you need is a light source, a camera, and a connection to the internet. That's all you need. So don't look at this and think you should stop before you even start, because this is just to give you some ideas and some inspiration for how you can make it happen for what works for you. I personally, you don't need all these lights. If you have a great window source, you don't need lights like this, but basically ever since I got a full-time day job, I've needed lights because I've either been in basement apartments or I've just only been able, only ever been able to film in the morning when it's more often than not dark, or you get really kind of dim morning light, or at night. So I needed the flexibility to be able to film during those times, and that's why I needed this kind of lighting. But really, you just have to do what works for you, and so this is just to give you some ideas for how I make it work, and in one room. So in all of the backgrounds that you've seen here, it all exists in one room. So in this video, I'm going to do a little fast forward to show you how I actually set it up, kind of walk you through the components that I use, and that's it. Let's go ahead and get started. So first, I want to start with some perspective. So obviously I have a background behind me, and I'll link to that down below, but behind that is the wall of twinkly lights or curtain lights that you've seen in a couple of videos here. And there's a daybed back there because I'll, pretend this is a guest room sometimes. I mean, you look around, it's very obviously a beauty room first, a filming studio second, and then there happens to be a bed in here when people come and stay with us, but it's just because, you want to make sure you have a place to sleep for when people want to stay with you. But I think you won't be surprised to hear that when they actually walk into this room, they clearly know it is not the guest room first. So then over to the left, well, my left anyway, that is where you'll see the desk with the vanity mirror on the top. This is something that my husband and I made together after watching a couple tutorials online. There are people who can make it for you, but we just kind of wanted to DIY it ourselves. So that's where that came from, and it has also been the background for a couple of my videos. And then over to my right is another desk area. That is where my laptop is sitting right now, and I have my camera tethered to that if you want to see a video on that. I actually have a couple of other options for behind the scenes content if you're interested in more about this process. So answer the poll up there if you want to see more, have some video ideas I'm kicking around. Let me know what you prefer, but that is where my computer is. It's tethered to my camera right now, and it's how I control focus and lighting and all that kind of stuff when I'm filming, along with a microphone. And the background here, I haven't ever featured this in a video before. It does tend to be just like a place where I keep my products as I film for quick reference, kind of off camera, off to the side, because I don't have a table here in front of me. But you will see that a little bit more in coming videos. So now that you have an idea for how this room is actually laid out, I'm going to go through the process of setting up. So I start by taking everything out of what is actually a closet / recording studio. I have a microphone in there for like when I do voiceovers and other kind of things like that. It's also where I keep my equipment when I do put it away. I know some people are great at putting their equipment away all the time, but because I kind of get my filming in when I can, I just, and we don't have guests all that often, I just keep it up kind of as is, so I can quickly, if I find I have a minute, I can sit down, film something, and then you're good to go. But when I do put it away, it goes in that closet, and the first thing I'm bringing out here, I think if I'm remembering correctly, is a ring light. I've had this for a couple of years now. I think it's a Diva ring light. It has lasted me. I haven't needed to replace the bulb at all. It's lasted me ever since I've gotten it, and I like it and recommend it as a light source for anyone who is interested in it because it gives really great, powerful, and even illumination, especially across the face if you're a beauty creator or doing a lot of like talking head work in front of a camera. I also have 2 LED panel lights that I'll bring out here as well. They're currently what I am using to illuminate my background, but I have and still do in some cases use them to illuminate me in front. It just depends on how much light I need for my fore and background. When I have this white screen behind me, in order to make myself stand out from it a little bit more, I need to make sure I have a lot more illumination on that. But if I have a black background, or if I have backlighting from, say, the vanity mirror that I I have over there, then I tend to use those a little bit more for lighting my face. So again, that is what's lighting my background right now. And then I also have the background itself. This is up on, honestly, I got this a long time ago as well. I just wanted, they're pretty inexpensive, these background kind of rigs back there. Again, everything will be linked down in the description below, but they're relatively affordable for what they are, and I find they just give you a ton of versatility in terms of the different kinds of backgrounds you can have. If you just find that you want to not worry about what's in your background and you just want to sit down and film and have a clean background, this is really nice. So I got that from Amazon, and then I have two sheets, or I mean, they're like filming backdrops technically that go on behind it. Those again came, basically everything came from Amazon. It is my go-to resource for all things film and tech. And I went with basic white, basic black. I also have sequin backgrounds that I used to use, but have really just been enjoying the simplicity of the solid colors back there, but also have those in case I want to add some texture. You can also just use curtains if you want to run to Ross or TJ Maxx. They always have like some sort of curtain or texture on sale if you just want to add a little bit of depth and dimension back there. That is also an option once you have the backdrop, or you can hang it on a wall. There are tons of different ways you can do this. Again, this is just how I have mine set up. And I don't think I mentioned the chair I have here actually. It's obviously what I sit into film, and I cannot remember where I got it. If I do, I will link it down below. Again, like it, but the white fabric, even though it's like a pleather, it's like a faux leather material, it grabs onto makeup like nothing else. So if you are working with makeup, I recommend either getting an easier to clean fabric if you want to go with white, or just make sure you have clean hands at all times, because it's going to get a little dirty if your hands constantly have makeup on them. So once that background is set up, I move my ring light up. There are some mounts for ring lights where you can actually put your camera in the ring light. I didn't want to buy that. I just kind of had another stand hanging around, so I just used that to prop my ring light up on. And then you'll see I bring the camera up closer and I set it directly through that. Like I said, when I use my LED panels to light the background, I do need a little bit of additional light source in front of me just to help balance my brightness against the backgrounds. And so for that, I use, guys, these are so old, these are actually lights that Andrew had for forever. And so I just pop a couple of those right in front of me, and those in addition to the ring light. So again, just get kind of scrappy, kind of crafty with what you have and play around with it until you get a look that you're happy with. I'm constantly changing things. I really enjoy the process of like coming up with new backgrounds, figuring out new ways to edit or change things up. I just get kind of restless with the same look and feel. I think a lot of YouTubers have said this before, but we just get sick of hearing our voices and looking at our faces. And so part of my perpetual change in background and all that kind of style, video style, whatever, just comes from me being sick of like editing the same thing over again. So I really enjoy this. I hope giving you a look behind the scenes was interesting. Like I said, if you are a content creator, it was helpful. And again, if you want to see any other videos in the same vein of like how to create, the process, tips and tricks, things like that, let me know down in the comments below. And besides that, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video, guys. Bye.